Well, here we are again, Kevin Yates Live, coming at you. If you notice, it's a little bit new here. So this is the new digs, basically, the whole new setup. Coming at you now from a little bit different area. No longer like either not so sunny and like terribly cloudy and cold, or a million degrees hot, like busting ass, horrible sweat hot Lathrop. And I've shifted all the way out here, and right now coming at you from San Mateo, California, where it's a lot cooler, still sunny and nice, but man, temperature is night and day difference. So that's where I'm coming at you from, in case you're wondering, like, where in the world is he at now? So this is where I'm at. I'm a little bit, still kind of beat up from the move. I'll talk to you about that in a little bit, but I just went through a hellacious, crazy-ass move. I'll talk to you about that and a big lesson learned here from the move that I'm going to share with you. So, like I said, here I am, Kevin Yates Live, back at you. Today's topic, part 3 of how to create a shitload more freedom and happiness in your life. So that's what we're going to be going on. I did the past 2 parts. So if you kind of remember what we were talking about, we went through the whole kind of 3-step formula to create more freedom and more happiness. And really the ultimate goal is happiness. I mean, that's the reason why we're trying to achieve the things we are, whether that has to do with money, whether it has to do with career, whether it has to do with fitness, it doesn't matter. It's all about creating happiness in our lives. That's the bottom line, what we're trying to experience. So what it boils down to is, and this is the way that I've come to experience it. And so it really comes down to like a 3-part formula, where if happiness is the ultimate goal, then the ticket to get to happiness, or the way we get there, is through freedom. Right? The more freedom we have, the more happiness we have, plain and simple. And in order to get to freedom, freedom, that was the first part that we talked about. If you missed that, then before you watch this episode, go back to part 1, and that's where you'll find out all about freedom. And that was, the big kind of stepping stone in between where you are now and then creating all the happiness and freedom and fulfillment that you want. Well, if we want freedom, we have to have it, right? But freedom is the ticket to happiness. So that's what we talked about in part 1, how to do all that. And then in part 2, we talked about choice. Because the only really way to get to freedom is if we have choice. The more choices we have, or options, then the more freedom that we're provided with. And so we talked about that in the second part. And then today's the foundation of it all. So we go taking it back to the very beginning here, the foundation of it all, which is awareness. Because the only way that we have choice in anything is through awareness. And this is a big one, because it's something that so many people are lacking in and don't even realize it. And I know this because I've been one of them for so many years, and it took me a long time to really understand what awareness is, and to know that when you know something through knowledge or intellectually, it's not the same as having awareness. So I'm going to talk to you about that today. Awareness is the foundation of it all. If we don't have the awareness we need, then we don't create choice. Without choice, you don't have freedom, and without freedom, don't have happiness. So this is like piecing it all together and cementing it in place. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let me tell you real quickly about what happened with this move. I mean, this was Friday last week. Friday, we, we should have got a moving company, and that's what I had intended to do. And what was going on was that we were, going through the process of selling our house, and we had a real tight time frame to get out, basically. And so we had 20 days to get packed up and to leave. And so the thing was that if you followed my videos, you're probably wondering when I said San Mateo, like, what the hell is he doing there? That's not the beach, right? And that is where my wife and I ultimately are planning to be. So the thing is that we've been having a tough time because we have our little tiny dog, Lily. She's just this little 10-pound Maltese poodle. She's so damn quiet, doesn't barely even bark. And most of these places just won't take pets, and it's making it quite a bit of a challenge to find a place. And especially when you have a 20-day time frame. It's like, we just didn't have a place pop up that, we could bring our dog to, and that we can, get through everything, all the paperwork and all that background, all this crap that they need to, figure out about you. If I've just escaped from some loony bin hospital or broke out of prison and murdered 1 million people, I guess they want to, find out all about that. And if I robbed like 10 banks along the way. So, a 20-day time frame is very, very tight to make all that happen. So, we are here. It's kind of a middle ground right now. So we are, a long ways from Lathrop, yet we're still not out at the beach where we want to be. It's kind of like this middle ground, all right? So, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that because there's an important lesson here to be learned. Number one is that, no matter where you're at right now, don't get down, right? That's the thing. Don't get down. Don't give up. If you have some goal, this dream, ambition, or whatever, and it's just, you're not there, it's not time to give up and start feeling like there's something wrong with you or this is never going to happen. And, why does everybody else have everything except me and poor me and doing the pity party crap like that? Really, this is an important, and I'm going to hashtag truth bomb this one here today. Boom, right there. There's my sound effect. But the truth bomb today really is not to look at, how far you have to go. It's look at how far you've come. It's easy for me to look this way and go, I have so far to go to get to where I want, right? Beach house and all that stuff, it's way, way out that way. And if I keep looking at how far I have to go, I start getting frustrated. I might start to feel like I'm not getting anywhere. I feel like, it's never going to happen. But here's the thing. If we stop for 1 minute and we take a look over here and we start looking out there, we can start to see how far we've come. And it's a huge shift in perspective because, a lot of times we don't acknowledge the progress that we've made. And it feels like we're stuck. Like we're never going to get where we want to go. We're never making progress. We still have all this way to go to get to where we want. It's never going to happen. But when we take a minute just to look at the other way, at how far we've come, it's a whole different story. Yeah, you might not be where you want to go. I sure as hell am not where I want to be living right now. But guess what? I'm a lot closer now to that beach than I was back in Lathrop. I was miles away, way out there, right? And that's how my wife and I look at it that way. This is kind of a temporary place where we're at right now. It's not going to be a long time, but it just, we had to have a place where we can just kind of settle down and then, put our belongings and have a place to stay until we can get where we really, really want to go. So again, though, when I look at how far we come, man, we've done a lot. I mean, so much has happened. This was all just like a pipe dream a couple of months ago. And already to be where we are now, it's just been a huge, like a whirlwind of a change. So this area, though, San Mateo, this is where I grew up. I was born and raised out here in San Mateo. So I stayed out here from the time I was born. I stayed the first, 25 years about of my life here. And then I moved away to college, and I've been gone for 17 years. I moved away to college, and I came back here in 1998. And then I moved away when I got married in 2000, and I've been gone ever since. So it's 17 years, and now I'm back in this place. It's like the Godfather, the third one. You ever seen that with Al Pacino? It's like just when I think I'm out, they pull me back in. So I'm back into this place, and it's like I'm in this weird like time warp or something. It's so weird. I told my wife I feel in a way like, like when a person gets locked up for like 20 years in prison and then they get out and you're trying to figure out what the hell's going on in this world and everything. It's like I'm in this